Alright, it's time for the Lissandra patch arrow thingy. Anyhow, the first one to talk about is just because I forgot to mention her in the write-up. Anyways, it's Janna. She's been added to the support one. She can jungle. She's always kind of been able to, but you gotta force it out of her by putting her AD runes and weird-ass masteries. Not like it really matters. I mean, supports can pretty much do anything. She has tons of CC and utility and can fit a ton of team comps. Just, she's a lot better in the lane and definitely gonna die to other junglers. Anyways, that said, the new Nunu. So here's one thing that's kind of bothered me. When I was playing him a couple games, people were like going, "Oh my god, the new Nunu's so overpowered." But it was not because it was team fights or duels or anything. They thought he was overpowered because I was going into their jungle and jacking their shit and taking dragon. And it's like, he's always been able to do that. Like, that's what Nunu has always been. He's been Satan incarnate. The buffs to him, they're buffs, they're creative and they're zany, but they do definitely add, more punch to his, his punches. He definitely can just duel better and just actually beat people down if he's eating, anything. It's ridiculous. Just take the support page with a bunch of movement speed, eat the wolf, and you have like 400 and something movement speed at the very beginning. It's ridiculous. And essentially, it just gives him a lot more variety. And the more damage on the consume allows him to jungle even faster. He's just better, but he's always been good. He's just ridiculously stupid of a jungler right now. Evelyn. So I've always withheld putting Evelyn in any tier list because she's really weird. Like, there's things about her that don't necessarily work in the jungle. Well, at least for creating in the jungle. Because, I mean, she has to be amplified by her teammates and weird builds and whatever. And I can't really, and I mean, some are supposed to, and I can't really give her points based on that if I'm denying those points on the other junglers. However, thanks to somebody just showing me, I think it was Diamond Proxy's build, where he just goes, quote unquote, burn Evelyn. I tried it with the weird ass runes and build and everything, and it was ridiculous. I added her to a fighters list and I put her as #1. The amount of damage you do for such little gold, even if you don't get ganks, is just stupid as fuck. By the burn build, you go Spirit of the Lizard Elder, you go the Glacial Gauntlet, the Gauntlet item, and you just burn people. Spam your abilities and burn people, and you don't really necessarily build any damage. I don't even know what to consider her. I didn't put her in the AP. I mean, in the magic damage tier list, and I put her on the fighter, mostly because she's doing a mixed amount of damage from all, and even true damage. It's ridiculous. I couldn't put her in the magic damage, so I put her in fighter. She's fucking insane, and I would recommend you try it. Of course, I'll make a video detailing that build later. So, anyways, Trundle's the next one. So, Trundle, I've already explained so many times what his issues were, what improvements were made to him. So it's kind of, just kind of saying the same damn thing, broken record here. In short, like, it's bounced him back. I mean, the updates just made him ridiculously strong, even matching a lot of the new champions or all those other crap that he's had issues dealing with before. The W change, the CC reduction thing, in my opinion, was probably one of the best ones. Makes him fucking ridiculously harder to kill, and lifesteal a lot more awesome on him. Especially now, considering that, he makes attack speed strong on him. You can build, like, Blade the Rune King, tank somebody, and just be like lifesteal your way through all their stupid damage. Just maul at them, press W, and just keep biting at them. They won't deal enough damage, and you'll just be, healing yourself up pretty immensely, especially after you use your ultimate as well, and if you have a Spirit Visage. Anyways. The updated his crap, his new ultimate is amazing. It basically makes him insta-tank as it always has, but it also, rips some of their HP and it lasts longer. The lasting longer thing is very important as he can use it and it'll last throughout the whole team fight, relatively to what an average team fight takes. I've already detailed so many times, but right now he's probably the second best bruiser. Volibear is still out there, mostly because Volibear has more damage. And he has actually direct CC initiation, while Trundle's is all on his wall, and that's completely variable. Next one is Sejuani, and everybody kind of already agrees at this point that she's fucking overpowered. So there's some people that are like, Sejuani was always good. Yeah, she kind of was, but but I've already, again, like Trundle detailed all her issues. They were usability issues. Her damage was actually higher before, and it's actually lower now, but dealing that damage was always difficult, and her jungle clear was always just terrible. Her ultimate was like godlike, like in her initiation, she had the best initiation in the game, and of course they tweaked it down. Right now she's just overpowered because all that crap she had before, they only reduced it slightly but made it all usable. So now it's kind of, it takes a lot of effort to fuck up your abilities. They shifted a lot of the power from the W into the Q. I mean, E's relatively the same. So now your Q isn't as, worthless as it used to be. And it definitely does a whole shitload of damage. Essentially, her damage has been made easier to deal while still having insane crowd control and the most insane fucking ultimate in the game. She's overpowered. In Too Long Didn't Read. Lots of damage. Very cheap builds now. Thank God. Godlike initiation. She's not exactly the most tanky still, but she does have incredible HP values. And, relatively easy to fit in almost any team comp. Also, magic damage. That's always important. Cool. Next one, I didn't put him in the tier list this time because I got to figure out where I'm going to throw him. Like, probably fighters. Azrael. Yeah, Azrael's always been one of those AD range characters that could jungle, mostly because, that Q and passive make it so easy. A lot of free stats, essentially, and a lot of damage right there. Get attack speed, attack damage runes, just nuke something down with a Q, spam it. Though he still gets his ass beat in the first couple camps because he's, fragile as hell. Everyone's been raving about Blue Azrael, and it turns out that build is pretty without even having to, theory craft a lot, it makes sense as to why it would fit in the jungle. By Spirit of Lizard Elder, you're essentially a jungler. And you have Tear of the Goddess and Glacial, the Gauntlet right there. Those are items a jungler would have probably gotten. And Azrael makes great use of them. He's a relatively fast clearer. Skanking leaves much to be desired, but what you can circumvent that with a lot of other things. Essentially, Azrael is currently the best and probably only AD ranged character that can jungle properly. And teams are probably using them for super early aggression, and it's working out well. His item set is in the jungle is inexpensive, is rather inexpensive and makes sense, and thus he's able to purchase it well and jungle because of it. And also just kind of ramble in a weird convoluted circle there, and I apologize for that. Too Long Didn't Read for Azrael. Cheap build that works in the jungle. Farms the jungle relatively well. Is actually a really strong duelist for in the jungle, so he can kite certain people, especially when double buffed. His build isn't really affected much when I'm speaking in terms of runes, masters, and whatever, and it works very well in early aggression teams. The main issue obviously would be that he is ultimately better in a lane, and he isn't exactly a tank. So you got to force somebody else to be a tank, or your team got to have something really cool going for it.